Good morning, friends. I'm going to show you a quick short demo of how to make an application form if you're looking at coming to study with UK Versity under the short-term study visa route. So first things first, if you log on to our website or just open our website on the browser, which is www.ukversity.co.uk, and then make your way and scroll over to the section which is the BAC tab. Now in the BAC tab, if you can see, there are a couple of pages that we've created, but on this tab, if you click on the admission form, this opens up the form that you need to actually fill to actually come in and make a successful application. So under this, on this page, what we've done is we've recorded a short video from the registrar, which basically defines the process of the application. It's a 6-step process, which is clearly detailed out here. And this is a good watch video which you can watch for about 2 minutes and gives you all the necessary information nicely summarized in this video. Now when you start this application form, there are a few documents which I would ask you to have at hand on your desktop or on your pen drive, so that when you are required to upload these documents, these can be done promptly, because without these documents your application form is not going to be complete. So we need basic things like the passport, your educational documents, which is schooling certificate, bachelor's degree. You have a copy of your resume or CV, a personal statement that you need to write for about 300 to 400 words. And in this statement, you need to explain why you're looking at making an application to come to study in the UK under the short-term visitor visa route. If you have any conditions or any situations on your medical conditions, you need to declare that here in the form. There'll be relevant columns for that, and then evidence of any training certificates, work experience letters, employment letters, and if you've had any refusals from the UK Visa and Immigration Service before, or if you've come to UK on a Tier 4 visa or any other study visa before, then you need to declare that, so that we are able to make a very well-informed decision on the eligibility of your application to study in the UK. The form is pretty straightforward. So when you look at filling the form up, if you fill your first name, your last name, John Smith. So I'm just going to fill this up as a dummy, and then in this, if you start filling it up in terms of the information which is required, like your name, email, your mobile number, if you include the area code, that will be much better, so that we know there is an area code. You fill your full address, which is which is your home address essentially, and this could be the address that you provide, on which we will do most of the communication, at some stage when your application is with us. So if you put all that in, choose the country. So in this case, for example, from the UK, put your date of birth in, and you can click on this. It will allow you to choose a date. If you want to scroll the years, you can use the year bit to scroll. Choose a date, put your passport number down, put the expiry date of your passport. So in this case, just as an example, and then the issuing country. So in this case, Great Britain. Now we need some details about your emergency contact, because in the event of any situations or any emergencies, then we need to be able to speak to somebody back home, and what we need is relevant details for that person and the email address, and that needs to be filled in. Now going apart from that, the address could be the same. If you're filling this up for your parents, your legal guardian, that could be the case, which is fine. And then at some stage, father. Once that basic personal details have been filled in, let's look at how many months you want to come in and study. So 6 months. If I choose that, what course you're looking at coming in and studying. So I'm looking at, say, the foundation diploma in accountancy. If you want to mention any other details, you can mention that here. Then if you have a Skype ID, then we need to get hold of that Skype ID from you, and that would mean we can do the interview, which is recorded, and we will invite you to use Skype ID, or we will give you details of our Join Me that you are going to use for coming on to the interview. Now who's funding your studies? You can mention relevant sections, any medical details. So in this case, if you don't have any, just fill the form up by saying none or non-applicable, not applicable, which will give us some information. At this moment you do not want to declare anything. Personal statement, you have to write here a personal statement which covers things like why. So if I just quickly do why you want to come to study in the UK, and a couple of other things about your background, your qualification. You could write about, your goals, your aspirations. So all those things are required to be put in this particular statement. You can relevantly, upload documents like your high school certificate, your bachelor's, senior secondary, or whichever are relevant, a CV copy. If you have a previous visa which was issued, then you can upload it here. You need to agree to the terms and condition. And then towards the end, it'll ask you to put in your credit card detail, because we're going to charge you £25 as application fees. Now this is absolutely adjustable towards the overall fees that you're going to pay towards the course. Now the application form will not submit unless you paid this fees, mentioned the expiry date and the year of expiry and the name on the card and the security code, and answered this security question just to ensure that the robot or the bot is actually not filling up the form. Now with regards to the application fees, we mentioned it here that this fees is adjustable towards the overall fees that you pay for the course, and we want to make sure that you are aware that this is only going to be submittable. If there are any fields which are not correct, it will show up in red and it will take you there when you are trying to submit. So it says here very clearly, in case of refusal or overall deduction that we make for the administration charge, that fees is going to be included in that £150. Once you've done this, you click submit by putting your details in, and once you've done that, this form is going to be received by us, and then we will start the second stage of our application process, which is basically looking at the stage of interview. And then I would suggest very briefly to look at some of the other pages in which we have given the information about short-term study visas, what is the application process, and it closely mirrors what information has been given on the UK visas and immigration site. So if you read some of these pages, like the short-term visitor visa route, the frequently asked questions, and the miscellaneous information, we've also put some videos which give you information quite quickly by question answer session, and they more or less are the basic questions which everyone seems to be asking us when they are filling up this form. So I hope this particular short demo has given you insight into how to make the application and how to make it successful application to start your journey to study in the UK with UK Versity. Thank you very much.